All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to lesson 2 in our polynomials unit. Today we are going to discuss adding and subtracting polynomials. The most important concept to remember as we go through this lesson today is the concept of like terms. You really need to know what like terms are. Remember that they involve the same variable, and that variable is raised to the same exponent. If you are unsure about like terms, please spend some time reviewing that. It is very important for this lesson. All right, so we are going to be adding and subtracting polynomials today. We will start off just with a collection of monomials. And so when we do this, we want to combine all the like terms together. And a nice way of organizing our work is to do some planning in advance, I guess is a good way to say it. So I'm going to examine the thing being added and subtracted, and I'm going to look for all the like terms, and I am going to circle like terms. I'm going to then maybe do a different shape or a different color or something of that nature so that I can visually distinguish what I think are the various like terms, and then I can combine them. The m squared and the 3m squared make for 4m squared, and the minus 17 and minus 12 makes for negative 39. So I've done something at this stage to visually indicate to myself what the like terms are, and then use that to help me add or subtract them. Let's do a couple more examples. I've got an a squared and another a squared here. I've got a 14a and a 6a, and finally I've got some constants, all like that. So this becomes minus a squared, probably negative a squared minus a squared is negative 2a squared. 14a minus 6a is 8a, plus 8 plus 3 plus 2 is plus 13. Okay, so for this next one, I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to identify my like terms again. You'll notice that with these, I'm trying to be careful as I do each of these things to keep the sign or the operation, in this case addition or subtraction, with the term that it precedes. So to say that a different way, let me write this down. 2g cubed plus 3g. As I look at this next batch, this 12 was preceded by a positive sign or an addition sign. This 32 was preceded by a minus sign, and this 2 was preceded by a minus sign. I need to make sure I keep those signs with the terms that they are in front of. If I do that effectively, I will be able to combine the like terms properly. So plus 12 minus 32 is minus 20, minus 2 is minus 22. I'll come back to that concept again in just a minute. Now, as we add polynomials, we can approach the adding in two ways. They call it horizontally or vertically. Everything up until now we have been doing horizontally. So we've been doing that method already. So one more time, it's 3b squared minus 3b cubed minus 2b cubed plus 11b squared, and then minus 12 and plus 21. By doing the combination in this way, I am doing this horizontally. So 3b cubed and minus 2b cubed is b cubed plus 11b squared, and then this one is going to be plus 9. So doing it that way, that is doing it horizontally. Let's take a look at the same question, but doing it vertically this time. So there are our like terms. When you do things vertically, you write down the terms and stack the like terms. So I'm keeping the b cubes above each other. You will notice that there are no other b squareds other than this one, so I write that one by itself. And then for this guy, for the constants, I go plus 21 minus 12. I'm stacking the like terms again. I do a nice big long line, and I go 3b cubed minus 2b cubed is b cubed. 11b squared plus nothing is just 11b squared, and 21 minus 12 is 9. So I get the same answer. I'm just doing it in this vertical method. Some people like it. Some people prefer it over the horizontal method. It might help you to be more organized. If you think that it works for you, go ahead and do it. Please, though, please just make sure that you keep the operation that is here with the term that it precedes. That is crucially important. Okay, subtracting, same thing as adding, just with one very important difference. Again, you can do it horizontally or vertically, so you can apply either method. But please be careful of the change in signs that you will get when you're dealing with subtraction. And let's look at this example to see what I mean by that. This portion of the expression here, I am subtracting a negative 6m squared. And when you subtract a negative, we know that that is the same as adding the positive. So I could rewrite this as 12m squared plus 3m minus 7 plus 6m squared. And that plus sign comes from the fact that I am subtracting a negative. That means that I am adding. That is the most important thing to remember. If we get problems with that, you will have drastically different answers, and of course you'll get things wrong. So then I go and I combine my like terms. That's going to be 18m squared plus 3m minus 7. All right, let's look at one that's a bit more complicated. When we have this subtraction sign preceding a bracket in this way, we can think of that subtraction sign being like a negative 1 out here. And when we have a negative 1, when you have any number outside a bracket, that is an implied multiplication. So 2 bracket 3 would be 6 because we're multiplying. So this is like multiplying a negative 1 onto each of the terms inside the brackets. So it's like saying negative 1 times negative 4h squared. Well, that is a positive 4h squared. Negative 1 times a positive 5h squared, that's going to be a negative 5h. And negative 1 times a negative 3, that's going to be plus 3. So that is the concept that is really important in subtraction, that you remember when you have a minus sign, it will change the signs of things that it follows, or that follow it. Okay, so from this point, let me write down the rest of this, plus 2h minus 11. I can then go ahead and I can grab my like terms and say that that's 16h squared, 2h minus 5h, negative 3h, and negative 11 plus 3, negative 8. All right, so that's the concepts that we want to look at for these for this lesson. Please remember the following things. Keep the sign, the plus or the minus, with the term it precedes. That's really important. Pay attention to how the sign of the terms will change when subtracting. That one will give you drastically different answers if you're not careful with that. And if you want to think of it this way, remember that there is a hidden 1 outside of every bracket. It gets distributed to all terms. And so when I mean it gets distributed to all terms, that was like at this point where I said this negative 1 here got distributed or multiplied onto each of the terms inside the brackets. All right, that's the lesson for today. Please write down any questions that you may have and bring them to class tomorrow. But that's it for now.